Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Myth Busting here in the Myth Busting world, and in this video we are going to be learning about the chests with randomized items inside that appear in various structures throughout the Minecraft game, such as a mob cage dungeon or the end city. In this video I'll be breaking down the math the game does to determine what and how many items are put into each chest and what your chances of getting particular items are. So, Minecraft 1.9, we got a new system for loot called loot tables. These loot tables are now used to determine the items that mobs drop, what items you can get from fishing, and of course the items that appear in treasure chests. Custom loot tables can be made, and using fancy commands you can apply your own loot tables to chests and stuff. However, we're not here to do that. We are going to be going over each of the loot tables used for the different treasure chest types, and luckily for us, the game stores these loot tables in an easy to read file format. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but I will explain the basics of what's going on. In the files are lists of items nested under what is called a roll. A roll is like a roll of the dice. One item will be selected and multiple rolls means multiple items, or even the same item can be selected multiple times by chance. A roll will be listed as one number, or as a minimum and a maximum, meaning there is an equal chance to pick one of several times to roll. So if this were min 2 and max 4, there is an equal chance of this being rolled 2, 3 or 4 times. And lastly, a loot table can contain multiple lists of items to be rolled independently that will appear in the chest when you open it. So onto the items. They will be listed with 3 properties: item count, weight and function. The item count works like a roll. Either you get a fixed amount of that item or an equal chance to get an amount between the minimum and the maximum specified. Weight determines its likelihood to be selected when rolled. If you visualize throwing a dice, you can only get one of the 6 sides. If one item has a weight of 5 and the other one 1, then you are most likely to get the item with the greater weight. Of course, this is a computer and dice don't have to be 6-sided. The sides of the dice would be determined by the total weight of the items in that list. Function is for extra parameters, like instructing the game to give a book a random enchantment. This can specify what level to enchant at, or a minimum and maximum level. So that's the basics, and I have analysed all of the data about the 12 different types of chests that can be found in the world, and together we will go through them one by one, and I'll point out all of the key information. And so you know, all of this information will be available as a Google document in the description box down below if you wish to look through all of the numbers for yourself, as the way I will display this information will be varied from chest to chest because there are a lot of numbers for us to get through. And just a little fact for you in case you didn't know, loot is actually generated when a player opens a chest. We're in spectator mode, and because of that, we can't open the chest. The loot has not been generated yet. Our first treasure chest is the spawn bonus chest. This can be found in the spawn chunks near the player when you create a new world, if of course you have selected the option to have a bonus chest. And there are 4 categories from which you'll get items from. The first 2 have 1 roll each, and it's to get a stone tool over a wooden tool. As you can see, there's a 1 in 4 chance of getting that stone tool. Our next category is for food. You have 3 rolls, and there are 3 different types of food, all of which you'll get between 1 and 2 items of. And the last category is for wood. So there are 4 rolls in total and 4 different types of items. You've got sticks, which you can get between 1 and 12, the same for planks as well, and then the 2 different types of log you can get between 1 or 3 of each of those items. So in total that's at least 4 unique items and a maximum of 9. So the last 2 items were log and log 2, and you may have noticed some extra numbers next to them. That's because when the game picks the type of log, there's an equal chance to get one of the 4 types of log or one of the 2 types of log 2. As you can see, these have different names. Our next one is the igloo chest. This is the chest found in the dungeon below the igloo, and there are 2 categories. The first one has between 2 and 8 rolls for 7 different types of item, and the second category only has 1 item. There's a 100% chance of getting it, and that is a golden apple. So that means you're going to get at least 3 unique items in one of these chests and a maximum of 8. So moving on to the stronghold, there are 3 types of chests that can be found here, and one of those is in the library, and of course it has its own loot table. Now it's only got 1 list of items, but it can be rolled between 2 and 10 times, and one of those items is an enchanted book that will be enchanted at level 30. You've got a 19.2% chance of getting that. Considering there's 2 to 10 rolls, I'd say that's a good place to pick up some decent treasure. So in Strongholds there are a four-way crossing room which has a small roof area, and up there you can find a chest, and this is the loot from it. I wouldn't say it's particularly great. There's one list of items with 1 to 4 rolls, and the best thing you pick up is an enchanted book at level 30. However, the odds of getting that are really slim. And the last chest from the Stronghold is found in the corridor. There isn't too much to be said about this one, other than you can see here a large pool of items to choose from, so there's a very slim chance of getting anything here really, but of course you'll get something because there are 2 to 3 rolls, so maybe if you get really lucky you'll pick up some diamond horse armor or maybe another enchanted book. Next up is the Desert Pyramid, and personally I think this is one of the best places to get yourself some loot because there are always 4 chests, so what you see right here you can multiply by 4 theoretically. But anyway, there are 2 lists of items. The first one you got 2 to 4 rolls, and there's a lot of items, so I put the list on the screen for you. One thing to point out here is that the enchanted book doesn't have a level 30 enchantment. It will just be a random one between 1 and 30, and also there's a slim chance of getting a notch apple as well. Then on our second group of items, there are 4 rolls in total. You can get between 1 and 8 of bone, gunpowder, rotted flesh, string and sand, all of those having an equal chance. This next treasure chest is one I wouldn't recommend seeking out deliberately for the treasure. It is the village blacksmith, and in my experience not too many of the villages spawn with a blacksmith building. However, if they do, there's a chest inside, and you've got this list of items which are going to be rolled between 3 and 8 times in total. So there are some good items here. You've got a chance of getting diamonds, and also you can get iron armor and iron tools as well, which is a pretty good find early on in the game. The Nether Bridge treasure chest is the chest found in the Nether Fortress in the Nether, and there is a list of items here that are rolled between 2 to 4 times. Now what I thought was interesting about this wasn't the chance of getting diamonds, but actually that you can get a flint and steel and some obsidian as well. So if you've ever been stuck in the Nether, maybe a ghast blew up your portal, or you couldn't actually find the portal and you needed a way back, well, you could actually search through Nether fortresses until you find some flint and steel and obsidian and make yourself a portal and get back to the otherworld, which is something I didn't know before today. Did you know that these loot tables also work with minecart chests as well? These are the ones found in the abandoned mineshaft, and you can see there's a very good chance of getting yourself a name tag, a 42.3% chance. However, there's only 1 roll for that category of items. For the next category, you got 2 to 4 rolls, and there is a decent chance of getting some melon, pumpkin, or beetroot seeds. And then in the third category, there are 3 rolls, and you can get yourself all different types of rails here. There's the regular rails, golden detector, and activator, all with pretty good odds of actually finding some. So this one is the jungle temple, the temple found in a jungle, and it has a chest inside of it, would you believe it? But yeah, this one is pretty reasonable and straightforward. There are 2 to 6 rolls and nothing too special on offer here. Very slim chance of getting a level 30 book and a reasonable chance of maybe finding some diamonds. So simple dungeon is the common dungeon, the one you find with the mossy cobblestone underneath and the mob cage, and there are 3 different categories of items here. Our first group has 1 to 3 rolls. You can get a saddle, a golden apple, even a notch apple, and some of the records. In fact, in general, there's some pretty good loot to be found right here. The next category is some of your more standardized items. You've got 1 to 4 rolls. Again, you can get yourself some seeds and also some golden iron as well. And the final category, there are 3 rolls in total, and you've got an equal chance of getting between 1 to 8 bone, gunpowder, rotted flesh, or string. Saving the best for last, we have the End City Treasure loot table. This is the one I'm most interested in, and probably you as well. These are the chests that will be found in the end cities that were added to the end in 1.9. Now there are 2 to 6 rolls of a very large list of items. You can see from the pie chart there are many entries there, and the list on the right is actually simplified a bit. So the part that's simplified is down at the bottom where it says diamonds level 20 to 39 and iron level 20 to 39. They are actually 7 items each. They all have a weight of 3, and the items are diamond swords, boots, chests, leggings, helmet, picks and shovel, and then the same for iron. But what's really interesting here is that all of those will have a chance to be enchanted between level 20 and level 39. And of course level 39 is way higher than you can do on an enchanting table, so in the end you can actually get better enchantments on items than you can from an enchanting table, which I thought was really fascinating. So a final and very important thing to mention is that there's a bug in the game which technically decreases the percent chances of all the items that I showed you. And this is a bug, but basically what happens is you've got some random loot being generated in your chest, and when it puts in the other bits of loot, sometimes it overwrites the loot that's already there. So technically it means you would get less. And this is considered as a bug. There is a link to the bug in the description box down below if you fancy heading over to the bug tracker and voting that one up. Of course, that would be nice to be fixed in 1.9.1, because of course it means we're going to get more loot overall when it is fixed. So that is it for this episode of Minecraft Myth Busting, and of course if you have enjoyed it, please leave a like on the video and be sure to check out the Minecraft Myth Busting playlist. We have done, almost 90 episodes. There are loads of them there for you to binge watch if you want to learn more about Minecraft, and of course the link to the Google Doc is in the description box down below. So that's it from me. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.